da-da-da? What do y'all wanna da-da-da? I've not a da what da-da-da. Oh yeah? Mka, we could za and have to buy some za. Oh yeah, let's switch to Progressa to da and get some za with the money we saw. Yeah! Now we know we're gonna da-da-da.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
You know, we can't all be flowery and complimentary and loving. Jeff, that's a good point, Jeff. Maybe we should. Yeah, everybody's feeling good about it.
That's interesting, man.
Jeff Lutz.
I'm a baby face.
Oh my god.
I'm the top baby face probably on KFH right now on the entire station.
That's just like your opinion, man.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
But I'm the judge. I am the judge.
Whether you're
jury.
I hear ya.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. It's the Thursday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show today. Jason Duda joining us. We make it the three-man booth. Welcome in. The World Series is over. Baseball's over for this season. The Dodgers with a win in Game 5 to wrap it up. After an inning in which the Yankees completely disintegrated, and they'll be having to think about that all off season.
Fell all the way apart. It's strange how it all unfolded, but that's how it unfolded. Aaron Judge got the bat going and then made one of the biggest defensive miscues you can make, and
did you watch that ball game?
Oh, I caught it.
Did you watch the ball game?
I caught it.
Are you lying again?
No.
What do you mean you caught it?
I
what
caught
does that
it.
mean,
I
Duda?
caught
I don't know.
it.
I didn't watch it. I don't lie.
What'd you watch?
What was last night? What day was it?
Wednesday.
You watched Matlock.
We watched High Potential.
That's a good one. Yeah. I watched Matlock.
That's what you
first
watched?
episode.
Yeah, the wife and I had to. What'd you think of Matlock?
That was interesting.
It's not bad, eh?
You two really watched Matlock. Really? Last night?
I watched it, pre-game, pre-series. Pacers were going against the Celtics, so I had to check on that.
I can't believe you're still with them.
Big win against the Celtics. What do you mean? They beat the Celtics.
The Celtics were awful last night.
No, they made a lot of...
You can't be a baseball guy if you don't watch the World Series.
I told you I caught it.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
That's what I'm telling you.
So you and your wife sat down and said, "Honey, what do you want to eat?" She just wants.
Yeah, we actually like spending time with our wives.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Oh, I don't.
I don't know.
You know what? My wife watches baseball.
Right.
And she was forced into it for years and didn't have a choice.
She's not forced into
When's
it.
the last time she held the remote?
She always wants to watch baseball.
That's not what I asked.
She always holds the remote.
No, she doesn't. That's all right.
When's the last time your wife held the remote?
All the time.
Well, step up and be a man.
Okay, I'll try.
She wouldn't choose to watch the Pacers.
Right, we didn't watch the pay. We watched a little Matlock. We watched a little basketball. Watched a little baseball. I went in after.
Who had the remote?
I did.
Well, then why didn't your wife have it?
Because you just told him to man up.
Because we agreed on the things we were watching, and then I went into the other room to watch some other stuff.
Who did?
I did.
What'd you go into the other room to watch?
Baseball and basketball.
So she didn't want to watch that.
I don't think so, but we watched High Potential and Matlock together. Good shows.
They are good shows.
Have you watched Matlock yet?
No, I got it recorded, but I'll never watch Matlock over the World Series.
That's all. That's you, man.
I mean, you guys got to be kidding me. And you're like, oh, well, I watched Matlock. But I mean, you're
watching Matlock.
Yeah, I did too. It was good.
How can you do that over? You don't.
Well, all I did was click the TV on, pushed it to the show I wanted, and watched it. It was really
So
simple.
you don't like baseball?
I don't mind baseball. After we watched it, I went downstairs and I popped it up on my iPad as I was getting ready for bed and watched about 2 batters and fell asleep.
So let me get this right.
It's okay that we weren't into this World Series.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, it's not. And you
Yes,
act
it
like
is.
there's some big alliance here.
Well, it kind
look
of
at
is.
us.
On this,
We're the men of the house. We're going to watch Matlock.
Well, we did watch Matlock, and we've watched High Potential.
and
We're not into the World Series.
it was fantastic.
Which doesn't even have the real Matlock.
Well, you got to watch it to understand, right? See?
You have
Did I not
to. You do
tell you?
have to watch it to
Kinda
So
understand.
explain
last
it, you
night
gotta
when you
watch it.
got home from wherever you were, the
Out east
conversation
doing
was,
the show.
"Hey, honey, let's get a little Matlock going."
I made dinner first, and the kids aren't feeling good.
Well, I can
So
imagine.
We said, yeah, let's watch the show. Okay, great. And
I have a question about Matlock.
I said, let's watch this. So we watched it, and then I went down to go to sleep, popped the ball game up my iPad. I might have watched 2 batters, and I was out.
You sleep downstairs?
Some once in a while. Depends on how I'm feeling, what's going on. So I went
Let's get
downstairs.
into more of your life.
Can I ask a quick Matlock question? Though?
Yes.
That development that you were discussing yesterday.
Yes.
Obviously, the kind of the twist.
Right.
Is that addressed in every? Does she kind of go back to that in every episode, or
Just really, yeah, that's what makes it interesting.
All right.
Yeah, so they're kind of keeping you up to date on what she's actually doing.
Okay. Well, I like
See?
that.
I like that part of it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I can't believe you guys
I'm
are.
eager to see what's next in that.
I can't.
Oh, it's-
look
it
at
gets
this.
good. Like,
you guys
it's-
think you're some alliance.
What do you mean? We're talking about a show we both have watched.
And we talked about this on Pop Culture yesterday
We did.
for a while, so this is where
Well, Mike must
we're
have
going
hated
back.
it.
Mike wasn't there.
Mike wasn't there.
Where was he?
He was ill.
He must have hated it, even if he listened to it.
I thought he texted Jeff saying that he thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I did get that text.
Let's hear it. What did it say?
Sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. Sounds like you guys handled it. I heard it and it was great.
Liar.
Perfect.
You're becoming a habitual liar
Why is that not true?
on this show because that's not how Mike would talk.
Sorry. Let me read it again. Well, fellas,
Oh, now we're gonna make.
y'all did a real good job there.
Now we're gonna throw him under the bus because he has a southern accent, and you got this moron laughing at it.
I'm just reading verbatim what he said.
Well, it's a shame I can't talk about the World Series with you.
Yeah, you can. I know what happened. I know what went down.
Yeah, I watched what you needed to was them blowing up in the 5th inning there. So
You said you watched 2 batters.
well, I did watch 2 batters, but I caught some highlights today.
You go back to it.
I don't know. I need new
because I knew
partners
you'd
on
be
this
wanting to
show.
talk about it, and so what is there to talk about?
There's nothing
The
to
Yankees
talk
blew
about.
it, like plain and simple.
Well, now what? Now
They
what
blew it.
happens to the Yankees? I contended all along that they weren't very good. They beat a couple of humdrum teams, and
Up to my face.
Yeah, I was waiting for a reaction.
I did. I said it to your face.
Guardians would have had a more competitive series with the Dodgers.
I don't know about that. What I'm saying is that the Yankees were exposed finally by a team good enough to expose them, and your team and the Royals weren't good enough to do that.
We're better than the Royals, though. We came very close, and we'll get it done sooner rather than later. So don't even worry about it.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I don't care what you agree with.
I think the American League was down. The National League was the place to be. Every team in the National League, if they'd have had a National League versus American League series
They did.
between the 5 best teams or the 6 best teams in the National and the 6 in the American, National would have won all 6 series.
Wrong.
That's what I think.
Oh, you're wrong.
Well, let's go through it.
I don't need to go through it. I don't even want to go through it. Baseball ended for me a week and a half ago.
It was on a weekend in Vegas.
Nearly 2 weeks ago. I really don't care how the Orioles and Padres would have shaken out. That is the least interesting thing I can even imagine right now.
Well, because it
I have
doesn't
zero
fit,
interest.
It doesn't fit your agenda.
I don't have an agenda. My agenda is let's move on.
Dodgers Yankees, that one was decided, correct? Phillies Orioles, who would have won that, Duda?
Probably the Phillies.
Or the Orioles, who we don't
Padres
know.
Guardians.
Ooh,
Guards, not even.
probably have to go with the Padres. Sorry, man.
And
Okay,
by the
we're
way, the Guardians were the 2 seed.
We're up 3-0. All right. Let's see here. Brewers Royals.
Yawn. That's what we're getting.
I think the Royals could have beat the Brewers.
Maybe. Tigers Braves. No,
Tigers.
Tigers Mets.
Tigers.
No. Mets
Tigers
with a
were
clean-
rolling, man.
Mets against the American League.
They're rolling.
Against the Guardians.
Oh,
They were rolling.
I mean, they're not that good. The American League wasn't that good. So now the question becomes, what do the Yankees do? They got a lot of questions. They got a lot of decisions to make. Who do they bring back? What do they do with Garrett Cole and his option? Juan Soto, a free agent. Lots of decisions to be made in New York.
I imagine they'll try to bring both of those guys back.
You would think.
They'll have a lot of competition.
They'll have a lot of competition for Juan Soto, absolutely, but they can just pick up Cole's option, and there you go. I don't
They
know.
got to pay him a lot more to pick up that.
They are the Yankees.
It's the Yankees. They'll
Like-
pay him.
$37 million for his age 39 season.
He's not 39.
No, I'm saying that's the option they got to pick up. He's got 4 years left,
So, it's
and
not
then
hit-
to pick up his option, they have to pick up that fifth year for another $38 million or whatever it is. See, this is what happens when you don't follow baseball.
I don't think that's...
And you're sitting out there in West Sedgwick County
Right.
on your love seat with your wife, watching Matlock.
I love it. I think it's great.
It's
a
we got
great
the full couch,
de-stressor.
actually.
That's fantastic. I think you're doing a good job, Jeff.
Thank you. It
of
has
course you
been
do.
nice.
I do.
Because you know your wife's listening, and you do the same thing.
She's not listening. She's working.
Now she's listening.
No, she's not. I guarantee you.
Well, mine is, and she's as proud of me now as she's ever been.
I know she is, and that's great. I think it's fantastic.
Stepping up here like a real man, watching
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, and you did good. You watched terrible baseball.
No,
terrible,
it was a-
terrible
it was a-
fundamentals.
It was a
Can't do
dramatic
the little
game.
things. I mean, it doesn't sound like I missed a lot.
It was a dramatic game. 869-1240, that is our IHOP hotline. Celebrate the weekdays with the new IHOP house favorites. They're just $6 Monday through Friday at IHOP. On the show today at 2:25, Wichita State walk-on basketball player Henry Thingvall from Cape and Mount Carmel will join us. The Shockers were impressive in their exhibition win over Emporia State. K-State maybe less so against Fort Hays State, and KU was pretty good against Washburn. All three playing MIAA schools, and Wichita State with the most impressive of the three wins.
KU also played Arkansas
Right.
and got...
In a controlled scrimmage.
no, it was an exhibition game.
It was a controlled game.
No, it was an exhibition game.
They
It was
stopped the game.
No, they didn't. It was a game. And by the way, Garrett Cole has an opt-out clause. There's no team option or anything like
Right,
that.
they got to pick that, but they can pick it up.
No, he has to pick it up.
No, they have to.
No, it's
Read it
his
again.
opt-out clause.
At 2-4. No,
He's
it's
struggling today, my friend.
not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I already read about it.
No,
Mark,
you didn't.
Mark Norman, comedian, will join us at 2:45. He'll be at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Wichita on Saturday night. Tickets still available to see Mark Norman coming up Saturday at the Orpheum. He'll be with us today. And then our picks coming up at 3:25. It's kind of become, well, it's too early to be a two-man. I got to get back in this thing.
Yeah, you won't.
Right now, Duda is making real hay with the bonus picks.
Giddy up.
Can't pick another game to save his life.
Yeah,
do you
if you
mean?
get your bonus, you should be winning this. 10 points additional every week.
I
And
don't
you
want to
can't-
run away with it in October.
But
Yeah.
you can't get
How
another
boring
pick
is that?
right.
What do you mean? I got a couple of them right.
You're terrible in picking games.
This bonus game this week is a little bit difficult.
Gift.
Well,
Absolute.
Yeah, I know how
Yes.
you feel about it.
but that's only because you think you're some savant now.
Well, I don't know.
Like Max, he's
4 out of 5
He's
on my
betting
10
with
pointers.
he's betting with hatred instead of actual brain matter.
How am I betting with hatred in any way?
Because I know you hate Ohio State,
I do not like Ohio State.
so there you go.
But I don't think Ohio State is as good as everyone thinks they are. I think Penn State's a really good team.
And
They are getting 3.5.
and you
So
don't.
there's
so
a
you don't
kicker.
like college football. You don't pay attention to it.
Not
so,
as close, no.
why am I going to pay any attention to your thought on that? Boy, I'm
Yeah, dude.
angry.
Yeah. Wow. You need.
Why are you
need a
so
candy
angry?
I'm
or
angry with
something?
both of you.
What did we
You've
do?
had a
You need a chocolate bar.
coming into this onto this show.
For a guy who says, "Oh, new show out, watching it. Next show, watch. I'll watch every show."
Yeah, I'll watch
we
it
can't
when
watch
when
two
there's
shows.
not the World Series going on.
We did not care about this World Series.
Don't say we.
Duda, did you care about this World Series?
I cared who won, but I figured the Dodgers were going to win it. I mean, but I had no interest in watching.
Here's what I am. I'm a baseball fan.
Great.
And that's awesome.
Then
I
let's
love
learn the
game.
difference
If
between
there's a
opt out and
baseball
option.
game on in the postseason, I'm going to watch it because I love the game.
Good,
That's
I watched
great.
the Guardians
as you should.
as they faltered again. I don't get it.
What don't you get?
Watching Matlock again, instead of the World Series when you host a sports talk show. Throw that into the equation.
He's got you a little bit. He's got you a little bit there.
No, I don't. I disagree.
You can't come on a sports talk show, the biggest event in the sport of baseball, and say, well, I sat down with my wife and we popped some corn and we
We didn't
just,
pop any corn.
well, whatever
What's
you
with
did.
the stupid? I don't like
'Cause
that.
that's how I see it happening.
Well, that's not how anything happens with me.
I see very hushed tones when you're
I've
talking.
never spoken with
when
her.
you're talking to Shannon.
Never.
Honey, you want to watch popcorn? Want to wake?
Want to watch popcorn?
Yeah, what? You may have said that.
Oh my God! Can we get Mark Norman on the show for some real humor?
Anyway, Duda is 29 and 43.
Doesn't
Jeff's
matter.
36 and 36.
Doesn't matter.
Even Max is ahead of Duda in games picked
That's what should really count.
at 31 and 41. The problem with Max is he loses the bonus game every week.
Well, that's too bad.
And so he's got 106 points, and Duda has 173 points.
That's right.
But without the bonus pick, which I brought onto this show,
You did. I didn't ask for it.
you'd be awful.
Just playing the game, man. All you got. I'm just playing the
You'd
game.
be down what 80?
Oh, it'd have been a little different. I just know I'm going to win the bonus pick, so I can't like pick all the games right. Then you guys would be mad every week and be like, "Oh, what are we even doing this for?"
But you would be happy. Isn't that worth something?
nah.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry that we asked
That'd
you to
be great.
feel something
That'd be
again.
great.
Our po-
So you're all
I wish
about-
I was.
You're all about us. or
I'm
the-
all about keeping you guys involved.
Did you hear about our show yesterday?
No.
Unbelievable.
Oh wow. So good. Real good.
You know, I'd be happy to turn this thing over. If you
I'm not
really,
asking you to turn it over.
if you,
I'm
really,
telling
no,
you
the
we had a
only-
good
that's
show
the only reason
yesterday.
you're bringing it
Not
up.
at all. I was just
I'm
wanted.
going to get a dig in on this.
No,
old
I
man.
wanted to know if you heard the show, and
No.
particularly our two wonderful, fantastic interviews that we had.
Who were they with?
We had obviously a football coach, two football coaches.
Who?
Well, we had one, the Andover coach, and then we had a different person on.
Who?
We had the other flag football coach.
Who?
What?
Just tell me who you had.
Yeah, the Bethel Flag football coach girls.
What?
We had the Bethel girls flag football coach.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you trying to kill the show?
Hey, she was nice.
No offense,
She
man.
was very nice.
What made you do that? What made you go there?
I don't know, because they're hosting some Veterans Day event, and where all three of the coaches are woman veterans of the military, and she was in the Department of Defense for 30
now
years.
that makes more sense.
And, just wanted
That's
to...
the hook. Why didn't you tell me the hook?
I did.
I had to pull it out of you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little late.
I know, but I
came a
wanted to
little
see his initial reaction.
Well, there's absolutely no problem with that. But I can imagine how that went. You got an email at KWCH. I'd like to come on your show.
No, I just got an email
Well, whatever.
about the event at
What-
KWCH. Oh, okay. This could be
Whatever you got. And you went into that typical thing you do. when you're at home and you want to watch Matlock?
What?
Oh, I'll go ahead and put her on. She sounds like.
Well, it wasn't from her. The email wasn't from her, I don't think.
Well, good.
Tracked her down and found out that they didn't score a point last year, and it was wonderful. But that wasn't her team. I think that was the men's.
I thought you said it was football, not soccer.
Oh, there he goes. See, he's just got it. He can't help it. Just can't help it.
Not quite.
Hey, I saw
Just
3 goals
embarrassing.
scored at the JV game.
That's right. In a half.
In a half. What was the final?
5-2 or something like that.
Well, there you go. Nice win for the Eagles.
Remember when I had Yankees 5-0 yesterday?
Yeah.
And it was 5-0 for a while? Oh, man.
You had the Dodgers 5-0.
Remember when they scored 5 unanswered?
You weren't close.
No, I didn't have it. The Simgen had it.
Well, the Sims.
All right, let's get to a break. Yesterday sounds like
already?
a
Oh,
disaster.
man.
When we come back, Henry Thingvall from Wichita State basketball. Shockers open on the road, I believe, Monday. Monday, I believe. Help me out there.
I'm pretty sure that's right. The 4th?
The 4th at Western Kentucky. Henry Thingvall, formerly of Cape and Mount Carmel, joins us next. Here's Henry Thingvall from Wichita State basketball, a redshirt freshman out of Cape and Mount Carmel, his second year at Wichita State. And in their exhibition game against Emporia State the other day, he got into the game and made all 3 of his shots, scored 8 points in just 9 minutes of action. Henry, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet. We're happy to have you. So tell us about your mindset going into this season. College sports has changed a lot since you decided to go to Wichita State as a redshirt. We've got the NIL, we've got the transfer portal. Things are topsy-turvy all over the place. What do you want your role to be? What is the ceiling for you as a redshirt sophomore at Wichita State? Can you elbow your way into maybe some playing time this year?
We'll see. I'm really just focused on getting better every day and personal improvement and just like doing whatever I can to help the team and the role that they need me to serve, whether that's in practice or the game. Coach Mills was talking to us before the game about just staying ready and being prepared when your name's called, no matter what time what time in the game that's at. So I just took that to heart and gave my best effort when my name was called and went out there and locked in. Was able to hit some shots. It felt pretty good to see my hard work pay off. So it was a lot of fun being out there with the guys.
Yeah, obviously you saw the tangible results of the work you put in that game. What about the other days? How do you measure personal improvement? What do you feel like you have accomplished when you walk away from a day saying, I got better today?
It really just varies day to day, but I think just the growth from when I first got here a couple of years ago is really, I think I've gotten a lot stronger. The pace of the game I've really gotten a lot used to. My defense has definitely improved since I first got here. And my shot is something I've always prided myself on, so that's always been for me. But being able to know when those shots are going to come and being able to knock them down as I get used to the speed of the game, that's really been helpful. And my confidence has grown as the years have gone by, and that's helped a lot too, just being able to rely on the work that I've put in. And the guys are really great about finding me, and we've got a lot of faith in each other, so it's been good.
Was Wichita State the place you always wanted to go? Obviously, you were at Capon, so it's kind of right here. Did you have any other offers, or was Wichita State just kind of growing up the place you wanted to end up playing some basketball? And then give us what happened after high school and everything through the summer to get to where you're at.
Yeah, coming out of high school, I had some D2 offers that I was interested in. I also had a couple track offers. So I had a couple options coming out of high school. After our senior year had ended, Wichita State reached out with a walk-on spot, and it was something that maybe that I'd kind of hoped for, but didn't know if it was going to fully come together. And when it did, I felt it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. I've been a Shocker fan my whole life, and obviously growing up as a little kid, I watched the Final Four run in the undefeated season, so I was really looked up to those guys, and it was really just something that I felt I couldn't pass on.
Henry Thingvall, our guest from Wichita State, formerly of Capon. We talked to you about basketball, but I want to talk to you about academics. You are extremely honored, decorated as an academic person. Tell us about that. You're majoring in finance at Wichita State.
Yeah.
You were part of the American Athletic Conference all-academic team last year. You've been on the athletic director's honor roll. You're part of the WSU Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I can relate to all that stuff. My two co-hosts can't. So tell us about
you can tell how smart he is.
Your academic pursuits.
Yeah, I'm in finance right now, and I really enjoyed it. The business school at Wichita State's really great. They've got that new building. I don't know if you've been in it or not, but it's beautiful. And the teachers are great. I enjoy my classes. I think I'm going to get an internship somewhere here in town this summer. It'll have to be part-time because we got, obviously, basketball workouts every morning. So I'll probably try to get an internship somewhere this summer. And, yeah, I enjoy it. I take a lot of pride in my schoolwork. It's something that my parents have always instilled in us. And Capon really prepared me well. They have great teachers and great classes there. So I felt prepared coming into Wichita State. And Wichita State's a great school, too, so I enjoy being here.
Just to follow up, what kind of internship? With a bank? With a corporation? What are you looking at there, Henry?
We'll see. I was actually talking with someone just the other day because I feel like you kind of got to get on these quicker than you realize nowadays. But we'll see. I was talking with either a bank, IMA, interest. There's a lot of things. I haven't really decided what line of work I want to get into, but yeah, I'm really open. And it's just something for a little job experience to get my foot in the door somewhere.
And you're going to make a lot more money than we do. But just curious about the team this year because you've been in the gym with them. You were in the gym, obviously, with last year's group. What's the biggest difference that you notice? It feels like there's a lot of hope surrounding this team with the new players and what they bring. So what have you noticed as some of the biggest differences? And do you think this is a team that can grab Wichita back and maybe fill that arena again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think one of the main differences is, we lost a couple of players, but I think the key additions we have are really bought into Coach Mills and the coaching staff. And the returners that we have, Bijan, Xavier, Quincy, they've all really improved their game. I think you saw it in the exhibition. Xavier's three-point shooting is really a lot more consistent. Q's footwork is a lot better. Bijan's a lot more confident with the ball. And, these pieces that we have that join Corey and Justin, they're really great additions. So, I think we're a really dangerous team. I don't know what we picked. We're picked in the American, but Coach Mills has said, our goal is to make the NCAA tournament. And so that's the standard here at Wichita. We know that. I know that especially. But that's for sure the goal. And if we do that, the fans will come back. And I'm excited for that because I grew up coming to Wichita State games when it was all sold out, and there's nothing like it. So if we can get back to that, it'll be pretty great.
Henry Thingvall here for a couple more minutes. You played a lot of sports at Capon, football, basketball, track and field. You were valuable in all of those. Tell us about playing for Steve Eck and Weston Schartz. What was that like? How are they similar, and maybe how are they different?
Well, similar in the ways that they know how to win games. Both of them are a little, I guess you could say, old school in the way they do things, but they demand excellence. And Coach Schartz came my junior year at Capon in football, and right from the start, he had a clear message, a clear style in the way that he wanted to play. and the guys resonated with that. And he's had a lot of success. They made it to the state championship game last year. My senior year, we lost to Mays and Avery Johnson by 1 point to go to the state championship game. So that was a tough loss. But and then Steve, he's great also. He came my senior year, so I only played with him for 1 year. But we lost to the eventual state champions in Topeka Seaman and the state round. But we went undefeated in the City League, and it was a great experience playing with those guys. They have a lot of knowledge, and they know their respective sports really well. And it was always a pleasure to compete at Cape, and there's a great community there, and the fans showed up really at all the games. So it was just a pleasure to play there.
Do you miss that big man on campus feeling at all that you had at Cape, and where you were just the do-everything guy? Obviously, we know you're going to go on to much bigger and better things in your life, but was that a period of your life that you look back on fondly, or just kind of ready to move on from?
I look back on my time at Cape very fondly. I really enjoyed it. My brothers were there as well, my twin brothers, Will and Nate, and it was a great time for me, my family, all my friends. It was a great bond that the Cape kind of brought together. And we had a lot of success, as you said. Almost made it to the state championship game in football and came up a little short in basketball and track. We had a great track team. So that really helped with the guys, and it was a lot of fun at Cape. And, when you win it, I guess it's a lot more fun. But, it was a great experience. And as far as being a big man on campus, I really didn't look at it too much that way. It was just a lot of fun being in the moment.
Henry, really appreciate your time here. Best of luck. The Shockers get it going for real Monday night on the road at Western Kentucky. That's going to be an interesting game. We wish you the best. Thank you for being with us.
Hey, I appreciate you guys for having me. Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right, Henry Thingvall from Wichita State. I believe we had him on one other time.
Probably when he was in high school.
No, it was his first year as a walk-on.
If you say so. I think we've had Will on.
Well, no, we've had Henry on.
Fine. You've been wrong a lot today, though, so it's hard to take you at face value.
When was I wrong?
The Garrett Cole thing. What else?
Oh, just the whole first segment, basically.
Pretty much that, yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Well, because I called you guys out.
On what? On what?
Just not being into sports.
Not being into sports.
We
not
like
being
sports
into
plenty.
what you wanted us to be into.
It's
That's
the
what
World
you're mad
Series.
at. That's what you're mad about.
It's the World Series, and I get defensive about baseball. I do. It's easily the best game. And for people to ignore it.
Not ignoring it. I want to win one. No matter who's playing, if it's not my team in the World Series, big deal.
I have the comfort and the security that I have one.
Now, will I sit down on May 19th and watch Angels-Orioles? Probably, yeah. But World Series, after my team's been eliminated, don't have it. Don't have it in me.
Well, I got 11 of them.
Good for you. You don't have any.
Well, you always say you want to win one.
Right.
I've won one.
No, you haven't.
I've won 11.
What position did you play on those teams?
Here we go. Don't get defensive. You had him right where you wanted him earlier today. And
I've
now
got
all
him.
of a sudden
Now
you're
he's getting defensive.
I've got him. Don't even worry about it.
I was even on your side helping
It's
you
all-
out.
it's
Now
all-
you're doing this. Come on, man.
It's all part of the master
Now
plan.
you're getting defensive. And nobody understands why.
I don't need
Just
anybody.
accept what you are.
I don't need anybody to understand.
You follow teams that don't win.
Great. At least I follow teams.
Well, there's a shot at somebody. I wonder who.
Bob.
Well, I follow teams.
A team. But if they're not winning enough, I'll abandon
Have I
them.
jumped off the Cardinals?
No, but you've
Will I
jumped
ever?
off. I hope so, man. I hope that day comes and we can just hammer you. But I don't know.
Really? You think that'll happen?
No, I don't think it will, but I want it to secretly.
My wife just cringed when you said that. What a terrible thing to say. 63 years I've been a Cardinals fan. At the knee of my father.
It's awesome.
And now you're going to tell me You hope someday that bond breaks,
Yeah.
like it did for you, like you.
It didn't break. I just found a different team.
I can't imagine.
Well, he did. He found a different team.
How do you feel about that?
Indifferent.
Why would you ask him how he feels about anything?
Indifferent.
You know the answer.
I mean, it probably wasn't necessary to say, but it's how he was feeling, and it's better to say it than to keep it locked inside.
I guess.
Absolutely.
Whatever you just said.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Normand. He is a comedian. He's headed to Wichita. He'll be performing Saturday evening at the Orpheum Theater right here in downtown Wichita. Mark, we appreciate you coming on the show. How are you?
Hey, good to be here. Doing all right. A little hungover, a little gay.
Well, you're hungover a lot. What in the middle of the afternoon? What does that mean?
I think it's a little thing called alcoholism. I'm trying to kick it. You know, when I was a kid, I used to have an even worse problem. When I was in my 20s, we used to get drunk and play these crazy games. You guys ever play driving?
And knocking over mailboxes? No, knocking over car mirrors. My bad.
Oh, you know me better than my father.
So comedy has been in the news here recently. Maybe not for the reasons that you would want comedy to be in the news, but I'm curious, in this day and age of political division and everything that goes with that, how does comedy play into that? Is that a release for people still, or do you have to be careful, or has it changed the way you approach trying to be funny?
Well, I wrote for Tony Hinchcliffe's rally. No, I think if you could say pretty much anything as long as it's funny. So I think if it gets a laugh, you're good. Go abortion, AIDS, race, gay, whatever. As long as it gets a laugh, I think you're good, because the laugh proves that it's funny and it's clearly a joke. The problem is, people work on their dark jokes with the race or the gay, and they're not there yet. They're not finished. So people go, what are you, homophobic? And you go, no, it's just the joke's not working yet. The joke about toothbrushes didn't work either. It doesn't mean I hate toothbrushes. Does that make sense?
So I'm Mark. I'm thankful for my short attention span, because scrolling on Reels got me introduced to you, and I've watched a lot of your comedy, and I'm happy that you're on our show. What have you felt? You're kind of my age, so relatively young, but you've been doing it for a while. So how have you kind of adapted to everything a comedian needs to do now to keep their name out there?
Oh, it's a nightmare. We had it made in the 90s. You could get high all day and do a show at night. Now we got podcasts. We got to edit. We got to caption videos. We got to do crowd work clips. Hire a video guy to come to every show, and it's a full-time job. But now we don't have to wait for Comedy Central to come calling. You can just put it out yourself. So there's pros and cons.
I'm curious. Go ahead.
That was it. That was just a Star Trek joke.
Was this something growing up? Were you like the funny kid? Was this something you always wanted to chase? Did you find out in high school or after high school or during an afternoon binge that, you know what, I'm going to try this comedy stuff? How did this all get to where it's at now?
Ooh, well, I see you're asking from What to Ask Comedians 101. But, it's just bedwetter, grew up in a black neighborhood as a chubby white kid with curly hair and braces. I mean, I had to be funny, or I had to get good at sports or something. And I wasn't good at sports, so you get funny. And I always just loved comedy. You know, growing up, it was fun to see adults be silly. So, yeah, I wasn't good at anything else.
Talking with Mark Normand. He will be at the Orpheum Theater this Saturday evening. so you grew up in New Orleans, to just kind of follow along on Jason's question. How did that environment help you? Because that's such a culturally diverse community. Just talk about that experience, being in New Orleans as a young person and just being immersed in that.
Well, I grew up right outside the French Quarter in a dilapidated mansion, and I had a transvestite nanny. We had a bed and breakfast in our house, so we had all these weirdos come and stay with us. So yeah, it was a very weird, eclectic childhood. I guess it made me have to adapt to random people staying at my house, and we had to cook them breakfast. It was pretty brutal, but yeah, that'll make you funny. I think it was mostly the bedwetting or the molestation.
Sounds like an episode of American Horror Story to me, but what do I know?
Hey,
Jeff?
You got that right. They shot a few of that.
Do you like
around my house too?
We did have some one-on-one questions, but, I've seen interviews with you on television. Do you like doing these things? Is this something that interests you at all? Do you like talking to people you've never met? I think you're a bit of maybe an introvert naturally. How do you feel about all this?
Well, the toughest part is I got to do what you call a meet and greet after the shows, and all these people want to say nice things to you, and I can't take a compliment to save my life. So that's tough. People go, hey, you got me through COVID. Hey, my dad died, and you helped me out with the joke. So I never know what to say. But I appreciate every fan. I can't believe anybody would come to my show, and it is very strange, though. That's the hard part, is the meeting people. Because you think, hey, I'll write some jokes. I'll tell some jokes, and then people want to hang out with you and have you sleep with their wife.
I don't mean this to be too general, but do you remember your first really good joke that you felt was good? Maybe even, I don't know how much the laughter would have been there, but I've watched you a lot, and I'm noticing how good your joke writing is, and I don't know if a lot of people notice that, if that's easy to spot or not. But when did you kind of feel like you were getting a lot better at that?
Well, joke writing stuff, it goes in and out, but I appreciate it. I guess you just...
Yeah, sorry for the compliment.
No problem. For me, it's just tell a joke, doesn't get a laugh, rewrite it, tell it again, gets a little bit of laugh, tweak it, and then gets a big laugh, and I go, all right, I got it. So I don't even know if I'm that great of a writer. I just keep changing the joke until it gets a big laugh. I keep it pretty simple there.
We're talking with Mark Norman again. He'll be at the Orpheum. I'm sorry, Mark.
He's doing that on purpose.
No,
he's
that was
delaying
I
on
remember
purpose.
my first joke.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
I'm sorry.
With the plug there.
Listen, I'm the older gentleman on the show, so I may be a little out of touch. My timing may be bad. I apologize. I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You're the older statesman, and just a heads up, you can't say the N-word anymore. Those days are over.
I'll file that away. Thank you for that information.
Right. Want to help you out.
So, all right, now you've thrown me off. So, have you ever been to Wichita before? When you think about doing a show at the Orpheum, I'm sure it's like all your other shows, but is there anything special? Do you try to regionalize your material at all depending on where you're going to be?
I actually went to Wichita for my honeymoon. No, I'm joking. But I've never been. I'm excited to go. And I don't change my act, but what I do is I Wikipedia the hell out of the town, and I write jokes. I do like a couple 5 minutes up top of local humor just to get the crowd all wet, and then I slip in the old material.
Can you give us one example of maybe a joke you're going to do that is a product of your Wikipedia research?
Well, I got to be honest. I haven't done it. I usually do it on the toilet an hour before the show, so I haven't even looked. Could you guys give me some Can you give me some fun facts about the town, and I'll start noodling?
I think if you drive in from the airport, you'll have plenty to go with.
Come on, don't tease me. Give me something.
Jeff, what do you have?
I was just going to...
Oh, what do you got?
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask you about crowd work, and is that also do you enjoy that? It's like you mentioned a necessity.
What are you studying comedy?
It's a necessity of the job. Obviously, you mentioned with the reels, but how do you feel about that, and how do comedians overall feel about that? I know it can kind of go either way.
It's a good question. I think crowd work is all about the scenario you're in. If you're getting heckled and you want to do some crowd work and shut the guy down, I say go for it. If you're doing crowd work and putting it on the internet because you don't want to burn material, I say go for it. But if your whole act is just crowd work and you have no bits and no jokes and no point of view, I think you're wasting your time, and I think you're wasting everybody else's time.
Don Rickles would like to have a word with you, but yeah, I get it.
Well, he had jokes. And he was an insult comic, so that was his thing.
Who are your favorite comedians? Who did you grow up listening to? Who did you like to hear?
Well, Norm Macdonald's probably my hero, and then I love Chris Rock. I love old Jerry Seinfeld. I love George Carlin. I like the list goes on. Dave Attell is great. I like a Richard Pryor. I like Brian Regan. I like Gaffigan. I'm all over the road. I like Cosby's
I thought
later
you were
work.
Chris Rock.
Similar voice and penis size.
Well, Mark, I got a feeling the shelf life is about over here. So we appreciate it. We've loved talking with you. We wish you the best as your career blossoms. And your career is taking you to Wichita, so it obviously is blossoming. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me, boys. I can't wait to Wikipedia.
Mark Norman with us again at the Orpheum Theater on Saturday night.
See,
now, that's a different kind of comedian.
Yeah. Max, I hope Max had his finger on the button there for
Max
the whole
was a nervous wreck. Notice how quickly he went to the music.
We were nervous. I'm nervous.
He's like, get out.
Back in hour number 2, picks ahead.
Radio you can touch.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
In the afternoon!
In the afternoon.
Starring Bob Lutz.
So we don't have to be accurate now. We just throw a bunch of stuff out there. And this dummy laugh.
You want my duck?
Jeff Lutz.
You don't have to fake it until you make it. Faking it is making it.
Good man always knows his limitations.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
If you're lumping me in, I might as well get some shots in. But I'm pretty. Oh, yeah. If you believe it in your heart.
Alrighty then.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
You're right.
Roller coaster ride of Bob and Jeff continues.
Sounds like a damn monster movie.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Jason Duda in with us today, the 3-man booth. We had Henry Thingbaugh from Wichita State and comedian Mark Normand, who stretched the boundaries of Max's agility in
good stuff.
The first segment.
It was.
ESPN out with their way too early power rankings for 2025.
Sure.
They got the Dodgers 1, Phillies 2, Padres 3, Orioles 4, and Guardians 5.
Top 5.
Cardinals all the way down at 24. I could have another tough year.
4.
Well, they're retooling.
That's all.
Know what they're
I was
calling it?
actually surprised they were that high. But they'll
24 is pretty low.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm kind of excited about it.
Good.
And you know why?
I got to hear
No.
that.
Because we're going to see whether players like Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker can play or not.
And Victor Scott and
Victor Scott. Those are the 3 main.
and hopefully Ivan Herrera for an extended.
Well, I believe Ivan Herrera will get a very good look. I think Burleson will play first. Listen to this. I know you don't care.
At second.
Here's what I project their lineup to be. Okay?
Okay.
A catcher, Herrera and Pajes. First base, Burleson. Second base, Donovan. Shortstop, Wynn. Third base, Gorman.
Where's Arenado going?
He'll be traded. The outfield will be something like Walker, Wynn, and Nootbaar. And that's
Scott and Nootbaar.
Yeah.
They
Walker,
should trade
Scott,
Nootbaar, too.
And Nootbaar. I don't think they can trade him. He doesn't make much money. See what he can do. But that's not a terrible team.
It's pretty bad. It's 24th. But there's some potential there. There's some upside. That's really what you're
Listen
looking
to
for.
this guy now.
But when,
try to give him a compliment. And then he.
Did you give me a compliment?
Yeah, I didn't hear a
I
compliment
said
there.
Guardians are fifth.
That's just fact. There's no.
Yeah, that's just you didn't.
Well, that's a
really-
compliment from me.
Reading is a compliment.
I didn't have to tell you.
He did do good reading there.
You did.
Then for you to act like you know anything about my team.
I'm overwhelmed with joy that you complimented me like that.
Well, I mean, listen, you do what you do. You got to make the best of a not a great situation.
Well, what's their pitching going to look like?
That's a really good question.
That's a great question.
See, I come up with them once every.
I believe Michael
6 months.
McGreevy, Quinn Matthews, Andre Palante. Then we'll see after that.
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, but they'll try to trade him.
As they should.
And Miles Michaelis, there was no trading him. He's just a innings
Kind of like
eater.
a cockroach. Just doesn't.
Just
Can't
an
really get
innings
rid
eater.
of him.
Okay in the regular season, I guess, but you can't really.
You're going to take your lumps next year, but if you're on an upward trajectory when it ends, I guess that's all you're looking for.
We're resetting. We got a new guy that's going to take over after next year. Let's go.
Let's go.
And you'll have another year where, well, we get to playoffs, let's win, and you can't score, and
we scored fine.
Somebody beats you.
Our pitching was
and then
what
you'll come
faltered.
down here again. I can't watch baseball.
No, I won't be able to. That's exactly how it'll go. But if the Guardians are in the World Series, you've never seen a bigger World Series fan than me. But if it's Dodgers-Yankees next year, not going to care.
What if it's Cardinals-Royals?
Well, I hope you get to go to a game or two. Let me know how it was right back, I guess. Won't care about that either.
Well, that's where he's at.
Yeah, but what a despicable thing to say.
Why?
If my team gets to the World Series, he won't care. If his team got to the World Series, my wife and I would care.
Would you?
Yeah.
Because you're a baseball guy.
No, because I'd like to see Jeff get, although it's hard.
You've
Because
won.
This guy
Your
doesn't
team has
really
won
deserve
plenty.
it.
I deserve it more than anyone on the planet. So funny. You think there's a Brewers fan out there that deserves it more than me?
Probably.
A Mariners fan?
Probably.
No. Some Padres guy who's
So we're gonna make picks in a little bit. One of the games we're gonna pick is the Thursday night game. I won't watch.
Why? Why? You're not a football guy?
No,
You just-
here's why. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers.
You got to, but you do a sports show, and you're not going to watch the event.
He's been forced down our throats. I'm not gonna.
Why are they on TV every week?
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I may watch Matlock tonight.
There you go. That's okay.
And we'll check in with you
Don't
tomorrow.
you get a little tired of Aaron Rodgers?
Oh,
I believe you said it.
100%. And they've been one of the night games the last 3 weeks in a row. Why?
Because it's Aaron Rodgers.
No, do people want to watch Aaron Rodgers? I can't even.
I don't think so.
Who is that person
And how
that's
about
like,
the
oh, I can't wait?
ESPN.com guy, Jesse Rogers, who did a big story on the Yankees idiots who tried to take the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove, but very easily could have injured Mookie Betts in the process. Very easily.
Well,
could have injured him.
Yeah.
And then, well, this guy's a beaut. Let's write about him. I am so sick of ESPN. And I went after him on Twitter.
You did?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Did he reply?
No, he's a chicken. to borrow a phrase.
Did he reply to anybody? Did he defend
no,
himself?
he never did anything. Jesse Rogers. Coward.
Maybe. Let's get him on the show.
I think we should.
I'll go at him because I did that job for a long time. And if somebody had told me that, hey, we got an assignment for you, go track down this moron and write about him. You know what I'd have said? No thanks.
Just like that. No.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What, you needed time to think about that?
Yeah, I did. Because you wouldn't have written about him in a glowing sense like ESPN kind of tried to.
I wouldn't have written about him in any sense.
You would have, if you had to write about him, you would have gone after him. So I don't know. Yeah, it's probably better just to not write about him at all.
That made me strangely angry.
Well, why are you giving these guys pub when they did something that was ridiculous? That's my question. Like,
and
you're
then,
going out and
but I don't think the other Yankees fans are unhappy or denouncing them or thought they did anything wrong.
Well, there were some. And then Rob Gronkowski apparently went to high school with this guy, and he was always this way. We loved him. Please, Gronk, shut the hell up.
Gronk.
What if I'd done something like that and
the voice of reason is Gronk?
My North High classmates had said, "Oh, we loved him back in the day. He was so cool," and just
I'd have come after.
What are we talking about?
I don't know what. See,
I don't know where you were going there either.
What happened to your concentration?
I don't know.
I was joking.
It left quickly.
I just wanted to get it out there that I was kind of cool in high school, but whatever.
Were you someone that had any popularity in
Not
high
really,
school?
no.
No, really, I want to know.
It's the same as it is now. I just didn't really talk to many people.
Were you a popular kid in your class of 11?
Yeah, because you only had to be like top 6 then, right? So there's
you weren't, so.
How many were in your graduating class?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Like
maybe 18.
Any of them?
So you were
still
easily top 20.
Oh, I was top 20 all day.
Any of them you keep in touch with?
No, actually not.
None of your boys back home in the
No
fantasy
reunions.
leagues?
No, because they're all back in Canada, and I wasn't going to go back to see 10 people who showed up. I mean, think about it. I'm going to go all the way from here back to second.
You really need an excuse to go back home, though?
I don't need an excuse. Why would I need an excuse?
That's what I'm saying. Just go to go.
From what you know, what would you say my popularity was?
Very. What was your graduating number? What percentile were you in?
I don't know.
20th.
Didn't matter.
That's probably where popularity was.
What do you mean?
I bet it correlated. Low graduation rate stuff.
What do you mean low
graduation?
popularity? I did fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't
fine.
an honor student.
Right, and you weren't an honor
I was
popularity
pretty popular.
guy. Really?
Well, yeah, I think I was.
Let's be real.
You want me to call somebody?
You didn't even play football. You can't be popular at Derby without playing football.
No, you can be popular. I was on the newspaper staff.
That doesn't make you popular, trust me.
I was, that guy. I didn't go to
table
prom.
tennis.
I didn't go to prom.
Chess club.
I was fairly popular.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'm gonna
finished fourth in the spelling bee.
He was popular. Now he's fairly popular. Just wait till the end of the show. We'll get the.
It's going well downhill.
You know what, Bob? It doesn't matter if you're popular in high school or not.
Who are you going to text?
Doesn't matter.
No, I know who you're going to text, and you shouldn't. Let's talk more about Ron Baker.
Who am I going to text?
Why? What are you guys talking about? Seriously, what is going on? You're texting somebody about your popularity in high school, and that was 50 years ago? Are you kidding?
Yeah, I just texted one of my very good friends who was popular, and
fairly popular.
I asked her.
Probably got a bit of dementia at this stage in life.
I think,
and you're gonna get. This should be great. I
think your view of popularity is skewed.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm curious now.
I texted my buddy in the algebra club, and he says I'm.
No, I'm texting somebody who was popular.
Right. That's what I just said.
Does he have your number in his phone?
Not a he.
Does she have your number?
Let me just say this. My popularity covered the sexes.
I don't even want to know what that means.
Well, it means what it means.
I know. That's why I don't want to know.
I don't know why you're lashing out at me.
Covered the sexes. Have you ever heard a
Boys
phrase
and
like
girls
that?
is what I think that means.
I was popular with girls and boys.
Right, which means you weren't popular with either of them.
Why do you say that? Why are you so hell-bent on that?
You were not popular.
Why do you say
I'm
that?
just telling you.
But why would why would you think that?
I just know.
How do you know? What do you think I was like?
I was on the newspaper staff. That's why.
What do you think I was like?
That was your go-to.
I was in the D Club.
I'm sure you were.
What's in D
All the
Club?
sexes in
Derby.
the D Club.
Derby athletes.
What?
I was in the.
He got straight D's and was in the D Club, I think is what that means.
This is 50 years ago, and he's worried about...
Well, I don't understand where you people are coming from.
He was in the D Club.
I wish my friend would text us back.
Well, only text.
I don't want to know what
kids
club
back.
she was in.
Well, if my friend, listen, I hung out with all the people that were popular. You think I was just a hanger
There
on?
you go. Yes, it sounds like it.
So you
I hung
think?
out with the people who were popular.
Well, but that made me popular.
Not the other people who were popular. I showed up where I thought they were going to be, and
She's
left.
probably kind of
left
freaked
at
out by the
8:30.
question.
That's bad.
Was I popular in high school? Very simple question. She's probably kind of freaked out
I
by
think
it.
the silence speaks volumes.
Probably says a lot.
And if she comes back with, yeah, you were in the D Club, then we know we've got a big problem.
Well, I'll show you a photo of me in the D Club.
I don't want to see
Oh my!
the D Club
Please,
picture.
let's not.
That's
I don't
that's
want to
Mark
look.
Norman territory that we don't need to go into.
I don't want to look at any black and white.
All the D
photos.
Club was the Letterman's Club. We called it the D Club because you got a D for your letter.
Right, you did get a D for your...
And I wore that proudly on my letter jacket.
There's a bunch of guys in their D.
Didn't you have a letter jacket?
I have this original conversation, Bob, if you want to hear it.
That was a mic drop moment on the show.
Max, what'd you say?
I have this original conversation of the D Club if you want to hear it.
No, don't do
Yeah,
it.
let's hear it.
This one's so much better.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the original.
You obviously don't remember it, Jeff. Hold on. Here it comes.
And D Club.
Please don't subject us to whatever D Club
What
is.
could it be? It's D Club.
I hope there wasn't an adjoining V Club.
What a dumb, stupid comment.
That was maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen.
No, it wasn't. That was an idiotic comment.
Oh, so funny. It's a bird.
When you have to say...
No, but let's be serious. Let's
you
be
usually
serious.
are. And your interview with one of the funniest people we've ever had. Mark, how do you approach comedy? Do you?
Right. I want to
you
learn more
sounded
about
like
him.
A moron.
I want to learn about him.
That's probably what he's going to mention in his opening in Wichita.
I sure hope so.
I did a show Thursday with one idiot and two other guys that sounded fairly rational. I felt like I was doing a comedy lab with the one moron.
You can't win. This is like I've won 9 rounds, and here you come back with a flurry in the 10th. It's not going to knock me down. Even if it does, you've lost the fight. It's over.
Because Max played an old
no,
clip?
because just the lines I was spewing.
What did he say, Duda?
I don't even remember, but I must have found it funny.
But if you don't remember it, how funny could it have been?
I don't know.
Oh, it
Honestly,
was.
I don't remember what
was
it was.
I don't want to say it again. That would cheapen it.
It would cheapen it.
I didn't hear it.
Well, you're gonna have to rewind the Odyssey app and
I
listen
would
to it.
stack that D Club joke against the other D Club joke and just let people choose.
Were you ever in the N Club at North?
No.
Well, did you get a letter? Did you letter in anything?
Oh, my goodness. We have to take a break. What did Mark Norman tell you?
Did you letter in anything?
Yes, of course.
In what?
Baseball, you idiot.
You played enough?
Yeah, I played enough. 3-year starter? You played enough?
No, you weren't a 3-year starter.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. You didn't start as a freshman.
I started as a sophomore.
And as a senior.
And as a junior, just at a different school.
Well, that doesn't count.
I got a letter there, too.
You got an H Club letter.
There's no H Club.
What they call
Thankfully,
it?
there was no N Club either.
What'd they call the H, the Hilliard?
They didn't. We weren't dorks.
All right.
What? Greatest segment ever.
We're going to take a break
Are you
now.
okay? I don't want you to feel
Why
like...
are you attacking me?
I don't want you to feel attacked.
Well, that's all you just did.
I want you to know...
You got Duda over here who thinks it's mildly funny.
Mildly?
So it just feeds you. I'm gonna go for the jugular on this old man now. To hell with him.
Well, that one was...
He wasn't popular.
You kind of put it on a T for us in
What'd
that
you
segment.
say?
Nothing. You'll go back and listen to it
Now
later.
you're backing off.
No, I love you very much.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, what is happening?
I don't want him to feel attacked. That's not what I'm going for, but, I kind of do.
I would have never attacked my dad for being in the W Club at Winfield.
Oh, jeez.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and make our picks. Don't forget the 869-1240 number. That's the IHOP hotline. We'll be back. I was also in D Club.
Please don't subject us to whatever D Club
What
is.
could it be? It's D Club.
I hope there wasn't an adjoining V Club.
What a dumb, stupid comment.
That was maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen.
No, it wasn't.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
Is Anthony with us?
Yes.
All right, we got the big fella here. We've got Duda. We've got Max. We're going to make picks of 9 football games. Let's hear the music, Max. Let's start in the college ranks, as we always do. Here's one from the ACC. Pittsburgh. SMU, both teams ranked. SMU at home, a 7.5-point favorite, and yes, they are in the Atlantic Coast Conference. I'm gonna say Pitt stays inside this number, but only for 3. Jeff?
Yeah, the classic traditional Pitt SMU ACC rivalry. I also think Pittsburgh, they don't have any impressive wins, but SMU's not world beaters. Pitt for 2.
Jason Duda.
Yeah, obviously you guys are usually right on these.
Obviously.
So I'll take Pitt for 1.
His
Let
strategy.
me guess, your next point. Your next
Duda
pick
believes
is for
he
2.
has the perfect strategy, and it'll blow up in his face, and we'll move on.
It won't.
Max, what about you?
I don't know anything about these two teams, but SMU's at home, so I'll take them for 2.
And finally, the big fella, Anthony. Hey, Anthony, who do you have in this one?
Man, this game would be very intriguing if Dan Marino and Tony Dorsett were suiting up for Pitt and the Pony Express was suiting up for SMU. But since we know that's not going to happen.
Not this year.
Since we
Anthony
know
is
that's
so much better at this than any of us. I mean, he always has a little thing, and you're over there. I'll go.
Shut up, Anthony. Bob's
Pitt
trying to
for
compliment
1.
you.
Go ahead.
Because then you tell us, you're like, oh, be quiet, hurry up and pick.
This might be the funniest show ever. Oh, my God.
This is going to be the
Go
best
ahead,
segment
Anthony.
ever. Not the funniest, the best segment because I've just brightened up y'all's day. But I'm going to go with Pitt, but I'm only laying 4 on it.
So did we go 1, 2, 3, 4 there?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Florida
That's
on the
Grand
road to
Slam.
play Georgia in the SEC. Georgia, 16.5 points. That's how many they're giving to the Gators. Jeff.
These picks are presented by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, official sportsbook partner of KFH, and they put this one on a T for us. Georgia, good. Florida, not good. Georgia, 8.
Okay, Duda.
That is crazy.
No, it's not.
Not
Watch.
really, actually. I got to kind of agree with you. I was trying to think of an argument. But
You don't have one.
Bob's going to tell me to shut up and hurry up and pick. So
Because you don't have any insight.
See,
like
there you
Anthony
go.
does.
There it is right there. There's the shot.
It's the world's
Here we
largest
go.
outdoor whatever party, D-Club party.
Give me Georgia for 4.
Ooh, he's not doing his 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh.
Max.
Oh, I've been laughing too much today. Yeah, I like Georgia. I like Georgia in this for 4. Oh, my God, this show's been too funny.
Anthony, what about you?
I like Georgia, too, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and lay my 8 ball down on Georgia.
Yeah, smart.
I think that's pretty smart, too. I'm doing the same thing. I think Georgia, this is a big rivalry game, too. You forget about that. This is one Georgia wants, man.
It's a rivalry game when they're good, but not both teams are good.
No, rivalries are always there.
No. Incorrect.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, great insight, Bob.
Oh, what about Jeff's insight?
Wasn't talking to Jeff. I was
Moron.
talking to you.
Ohio State, Penn State, the
under
game of the
attack.
week.
What'd you
in
pick
college
Georgia for,
football,
Bob?
The game of the week.
You didn't give a
8.
number.
Yeah, I did. I said 8.
Oh, I
He
was
did. I got to stick up for him.
I was
there.
too
He
busy.
said 8.
I was too busy laughing at all the morons.
Well,
of it.
stop laughing and
Keep
can't help
laughing,
it.
Max.
do your job.
Laughing is good.
Ohio State and Penn State. This one in Happy Valley. Penn State getting 3.5 points at home. This is the bonus game.
Sure is. Guess who gets to start it?
Duda.
Well, since they're both state schools, it's tough to pick. But I'm going with Penn State for 10.
Ooh, he kicked my thunder.
That's crazy. Max, what about you?
Every time I've seen Ohio State play, they're so inconsistent. So since they're favored by 3.5, I'll take Penn State for 5.
Anthony, you need points. Who you picking?
Well, Duda kind of set the standard, and he took some of my thunder. So guess what? This is a game that's in Happy Valley. It's probably going to be a whiteout. I'm going 10 on Penn State.
Penn State's one of those schools that when they get the spotlight, they always kind of knock it over, make a mess. How do I believe in Penn State? How in the world can you guys believe that much in Penn State? I don't get it. Ohio State for 7. Jeff. Seriously.
Oh, insight. You just don't get it any better.
Go. What's your pick?
I'm with the other fellas, in fact.
Okay, good.
It's tough. But Ohio State doesn't show it that it wins these type of games. It went to Oregon, lost. They keep losing to Michigan. They're not going to win this game. I wish they would. No, I don't care. But I got Penn State for 10.
Well, this is unbelievable to me.
Why?
Because you're out in an island, and now you're feeling,
Ohio
oh, boy.
State just beat Nebraska 21-14. That is not a sign of a team that's ready to go in.
I think they're going to be ready.
All right.
Kansas State. What?
Bob's the Gilligan on this one.
You're on the island.
That's what that means,
A
Bob.
3-hour tour.
That's great insight, Max. Thank you.
You know
for
what?
contributing.
We had a funny segment, the last one. Let's not push the envelope.
2 in a row.
Kansas State on the road to face Houston. Houston has won a couple games of the last 3 they've played. I'm not sure what that means. They are getting 13.5 points. Max, you start.
Well, since KU beat them by a good margin, I'll take K-State for 3 in this one.
What about you, Anthony?
I'll take K-State for 5.
I think K-State is pretty good right now. I don't think Houston is. I like Kansas State for 7. Jeff?
I don't have a feel for K-State as far as margins of victory go, especially now they're going on the road here. So I'm going to take K-State, but only for 1.
Why?
This is how I feel.
Duda?
K-State doesn't play that well on the road. They've played a lot of close games. They haven't had a lot of blowouts this year. I know Houston's not that good, but I got Houston for 3.
Ooh. What?
Chicago and Arizona in the NFL. Surprising line here. Arizona a favorite. Now, they're not terrible. 1.5 points. We start with Anthony.
See, Chicago is snake bit from last week's game. And they facing Kyler Murray, and he's another good Hail Mary guy. So they could be another Hail Mary loss away from him. But my confidence, I'm going to go Arizona covers, but my confidence level is at 1. It might be another
Yeah, I
Hail
don't
Mary.
have a ton of confidence in this game either. I like Chicago to rebound, and I think they'll win the game, but only 2 points confidence-wise. Jeff?
I'm pretty much right there with you fellas. Arizona, to me, feels like a better team, and they get to be playing at home in this one. Arizona for 3.
What about you, Duda?
This is a tough one. I've watched Arizona play a lot this year. I'm not sold on them. You never know who's going to show up. No clue on this. I'm taking Chicago for 2.
And Max, where are you on it?
Last week, all of us. Remember when the Bears scored and then they went for 2 and got it? And then that Hail Mary came. So I think they're angry.
Tough loss.
Yeah, that was
I
awful.
got that one.
Yeah, Jeff, Jeff had to be because they went for 2 and he would have lost. But I like the Bears to come back in this one. I'm taking them for 8.
Wow.
Ooh.
That came out of nowhere. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Prime Video. Houston, New York. The Jets at home, favored by 2.5. I like Houston here for 6. Jeff?
I hate this. I'm falling into a trap, and I know we'll get to Duda, and he'll come up with his great insight, and he'll take the Jets, and I'm gonna feel bad about it. I know exactly how this all works. When we zig and when it looks like a zig, Duda zags. But I got Houston for 6 too. Do what you do, Jace.
Yeah, go.
Jake.
Houston they got Mixon and Tank Dell, who's still kind of banged up. They have no wide receivers. They're going into the Jets. It's a primetime game. The Jets are going to show up tonight. Jets for 8. Gift.
Ooh.
Gift.
Stupid. Max?
I hate this pick, but because of all the injuries to Houston, I'm taking the Jets for 1. They can't lose 6 in a row, can they?
It's not.
They're not any good. Anthony, what do you have here?
This game is going to be very reliant on both teams' run game, trust me. And I think Mixon is going to show up.
I get
show
it.
out. Mixon is going to show up.
That's Anthony, man.
So I'm going to go, as scary as this is Halloween night too. I'm going to go with Houston and 6 points.
I think I'm going to mandate that you, Duda, and Max get 5 seconds to make your picks. Anthony gets a minute.
That was a good pun.
Well,
I don't even know if he knows he made it.
He knows he made it.
Do you,
I
Anthony?
know what I did. I know exactly what I did.
What'd you do? Tell us. Explain it.
I gave very enlightening insight that you all should follow
Right.
my lead.
No, you said Reliant about Houston. And they used to play at Reliant Stadium. Maybe they still do.
They still do.
Next.
Miami, Buffalo. Buffalo at home, 6.5 points. They're favored. We start with Jeff.
These NFL games felt easy to me this week, which means they're probably not. But I went Buffalo for 5. Miami just hasn't gotten anything going this year.
Duda.
Haven't got anything going. Tua came back, dusted the rust off. And away they go. This will be a tight game, probably a 3-point game. You got to take the points then if it's 6.5, right, Bob? Miami for 6.
6 in the hook.
I can't wait till you completely disintegrate. Matt.
Literally or figuratively?
It's in Buffalo. I'm trusting Josh Allen. I'm taking Buffalo for 7.
The man.
You got a better chance than Duda does. Anthony.
Yeah, I'm laying my same 7 on Buffalo. It's a home game. They got this one.
I've got Buffalo for 5. So most of us pretty confident in the Bills. Duda's picking mine.
Zag.
Detroit, Green Bay. This one in Green Bay. Detroit, however, giving 3.5 on the road. We've got Jordan Love, who looks like he's going to be okay to go, but had a little injury last week. We start with Duda.
Yeah, I'd feel better about it if I knew what was going on with Love, but I'm going with the better team, so I'll take Detroit for 5.
Detroit for 5. Max?
It's always hard to pick after, they put up 52. But division game, I like the Lions for 6 in this one.
All right. Anthony, what about you?
I would like to take Green Bay because they're at home, but like you said, the love factor, and love sometimes hurts. So I'm going to go with Detroit. I'm going to go with Detroit, but I'm laying.
Have you thought about writing poetry?
Well, wait a minute. Let him make his pick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next week, 5 seconds for you clowns, a minute for Anthony.
Okay.
Who's your pick?
Yeah, Detroit for 3.
I got Detroit, too. I don't know how you couldn't pick Detroit. And I've got them for 4. What about you, Jeff?
Green Bay's got all these young receivers that we thought would break out, but Watson hasn't really done much. Dobbs hasn't done much. Wicks hasn't done much. Reed hasn't done much. They're all just kind of okay.
5 seconds.
Detroit for 7.
Who?
Detroit for 7.
You just sneezed. It's okay.
Finally, Tampa Bay visiting the Chiefs. Kansas City, 9.5-point favorite. We start here with Max. We know where he's going.
We do.
Max, what do you have?
Baker Mayfield will not allow them once again to cover. It's hard to beat the refs in the NFL, too. I'll take the Bucs for 5.
You already picked Penn State. Well, that was your bonus game. So Tampa Bay for 5. Max will lose this one again. Anthony?
Well, this is one game where you never know which team is going to show up. I mean, Kansas City, they just find a way to win. It's not always pretty. Tampa Bay, they either look good or they look bad. There's no in between. 9.5, that's a large margin. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to at least cover the spread, but they only get 2 confidence points.
2. I don't like this game at all. I'm going to pick, only have 1 point. Kansas City for 1. Jeff.
Fell for it last week when I said they'll have to beat the Raiders by double digits, even though they beat nobody by double digits. So I'm not going to fall for it again. I will take Tampa for 4.
Wow. What about you, dudes?
Yeah, just too many points. I mean, Kansas City will win this game, but it's too many points. We thought that Tampa wouldn't have much of an offense last week without Evans and Godwin. We were wrong there. They can still put up the points. So I got Tampa Bay for 7.
All I
Big
can do
spender.
is chuckle. All I can do is chuckle.
Did everybody
Anthony,
pick Tampa there?
And yes.
Except Bob.
I picked Kansas City.
Oh, that's dumb.
Anthony, we always appreciate it. Great job as always. I'm sorry you're surrounded by amateur hour.
Hey, they prop me up real good. They make me look good. Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you next
Sound
week,
great.
okay? All right, where do we go? I never got a text back from the very good friend of mine who I inquired with about my popularity in high school.
Does that tell you something?
It tells me just about everything.
That may be telling. No doubt about it.
She spared your feelings, which is nice of her.
I stand by my statement that
you were kind of
being in the D Club made me popular.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I don't get what's funny.
Oh, yeah, you should be able to put that one together, Bob. Oh, boy.
It's unfortunate that you didn't go to Irby High or something.
Well, I went to Derby.
Yeah.
And I'm a proud Panther. All these years later. I don't think you ever lose that. Are you a proud, what was your nickname? Sexsmith what?
That's a good question.
Come on.
Sabres.
There you go.
Yeah, you knew that.
And you were the Red.
Yeah, I just told you.
You were the Redskins
You act like you
before
didn't
they
know
became the Red Hawks.
Well, because it was always secondary
Sabres.
school or Sabres, so went to secondary, and then I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm a Red Hawk.
Well, my junior high, we were the Derby Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That's not what you want when Arc City's one of your rivals.
We didn't play them in junior high.
You got to remember, this is
Derby
like
did.
55 years ago.
Yeah, Arc City hadn't been invented yet.
No, we played Arc City in high school, but we weren't in their league in junior high.
Oh, my apologies.
We played Valley Center, Goddard, those kinds of schools.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to apologize.
You know, when I was
know that
when I was really young, Derby was in the Chisholm Trail League with Augusta, Clearwater, Wellington, Mulvane. Derby was just a little burg here, man. 5,000 or 6,000 people. Now, all these years later, it's closer to 30,000 people.
And a Division I Arc Valley Chisholm Trail League team. Friday 5 tomorrow. Can't wait.
You're trying to desperately to make that thing catch on.
I think it has with some people.
You mention it a lot.
I like writing it.
You mentioned it yesterday.
Did he
I
really?
enjoy it.
17 times.
No, a couple
I counted.
times.
I was marking them down. I ran out of ink in the pen.
Well, I mean, it's a good effort, and he does put some work into it. But until that Joe Hour story comes out.
Yeah, well, that was a while ago.
Shut up, dude.
Well,
like
I just remembered you guys talking about it. So, sorry. I just didn't know it wasn't out.
No, it hadn't been.
Oh, yeah, it was out. You guys just missed it.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been written. 3 years it's been in the making.
2.
How much time did you spend with Joe on that?
A little, like an hour and 20 minutes.
Don't you owe it to Joe, who's
I
a
would say
wonderful.
probably.
Yes, I know.
I
I
would say
know.
probably. I'm not
I
going to give you a
know.
real hard time about this, but like, get her done.
I love Joe. He's one of my favorite
Just
people.
do it.
Okay, I'll try.
I mean, this is a mental weakness.
No, it's not. It's a time issue.
But I can watch Matlock.
Yeah, I don't want to work
That's
when I'm not at work.
If you're watching Matlock, that's okay.
Exactly. I'm learning something.
But he'll have to redo the interview now.
No, I won't. I got plenty of stuff.
No, you'll have to redo it. Anything that's 2 years old is not viable.
No, I talked about his history and his.
You got that part of it, but
That's what most of the story is.
We'll need some other details.
Well, I'll see what I have.
And then we'll need to talk to several people who...
Yeah, he gave me a lot of numbers. I don't think I have them anymore.
Embarrassing.
I think I threw them away.
That's...
Because I'm a bad person.
I've been on your side all day, but I'm with your dad.
I know. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to. I'm not taking a side over here. There's no side that I'm on. I understand what everybody's saying. Just
I would like to read it.
I
myself.
would too.
You wouldn't read it.
I would
Of course
read.
he would.
I would read something like that if you wrote it. And we've talked to Joe how many times on
Of course
this
you
show.
would.
That is something I would read about.
All right,
I'm
thanks
not going to read
everybody.
about some buffoon that
We'll be
I
back
know
with
of.
the 3-man booth tomorrow.
And I just got
Have
cut
a good
off
night.
again. And then what else is new at this place?